Well, the Horseshoe Casino will get some national attention today. The world's best poker players will be right here in the Queen City for one of the game's biggest tournaments. That is where a fire broke out overnight at a mobile home park on Reading Road. A tri-state soldier's body is back home today after nearly a year-long battle with colon cancer. If convicted, Moore could face the death penalty. A Colerain Township father is mourning the loss of his son in a car crash. What a great way to give back. And so far this year, Home Depot's corporate office has put about $80 million towards volunteer projects just like this one. And Local 12's Adam Clements is there live on the scene, and we go back to him because, Adam, have you learned some new information? Streetcar supporters say the battle to keep the project alive is not over. The show features 4 popular local bands. Smartphones and tablets are turning into the 21st century nanny, and the parents say hallelujah. Their mobile unit will be parked outside of UC Health Primary Care on Montgomery Road. And Local 12's Perry Shibley is live in Montgomery with more.
Great, it actually does start at Findlay Market, but you know it's going to wind its way
Takes a little
through
while,
downtown
sure.
Cincinnati, and then end up right here where we are.
Well, we are all guilty of leaving the pizza sitting out all night, maybe some leftover dinner, something like that.
This is a workout. How much longer do we have?
49-9 at home this weekend in front of the home crowd. It was fantastic.
Oh, whooping.
Most people are very aware of Cincinnati's long-standing history with beer. Ooh, nail biter at the end. I'm thinking maybe station-sponsored party in the bow tie room. Boom. Nailed it. All right, I'd say that you're redeemed.
A lot of other people were also wondering about Johnny Cueto. You know, he had to come out after only 8 pitches there in the playoffs. He says he's at 100%.
Okay, well, you are going to want to hold on tight before we show you this clip. We took a little bit of a field trip yesterday to try on a couple of costumes. A behind-the-scenes look that you just don't want to miss is coming up on Good Morning Cincinnati. Now, you can tell the kitchen needs a little bit of work. Typically, to get through security screening, I'd have to take the jacket off. I'd have to kick off the shoes. The company is also going mobile, since it's what most people have access to when out on the road. Crews are working to stabilize the house before they remove the car from the bedroom. But the girls did not pay, and that's where the problems began. John turned around and saw the would-be robber put the gun in his pocket and then take off out the door. That's when John, without even thinking, started running after him. If you had walked up this sidewalk yesterday, you would have walked up to the front door of somebody's home. Now it is gone, crumbled in the field behind me. We found this welcome mat about 30 feet away. This is pretty much the only thing they have left. Well, neighbors knew this house as the drug house, and you can see all around there are signs saying beware of the dog, no trespassing, that the house is under constant video surveillance. Police just left the scene about half an hour ago, but earlier, Acting Chief Paul Humphreys told me that 3 officers went into this building. So she says it's a moving target. It may not be April of 2016. It could be even later. Could $25 a week be the difference between dropping out or going to class and graduating? The next couple of days, linemen will trade out the rope lines for these high-strength aluminum cables. The Jimmy Buffett concert doesn't start until 7:30, but the party's been going on down here for hours.
Hey there, Cammie, and I have one of my cousins in my arms right now. My family has been a part of St. Margaret of York for the past 26 years when it really wasn't even a church. We went to school in a basement.
The sign out front hasn't changed since 1964, and neither has the secret recipe.
We've got some glaze, sprinkles. You guys like cake donuts? Is that what you're after?
With more than 30 rotating flavors, it can be tough to choose.
If your imagination can take it, we can make it.
Ruth Holtman Woods grew up in this shop.
From knee-high to a grasshopper.
Today, she helps her sister Tony run Holtman's Donuts.
Once you go to Holtman's, there's nowhere else to go.
You could credit their success to the hometown appeal.
Thank you for the best donuts in the world.
And affordable prices.
Let me get you for 95 cents altogether.
But Ruth says the secret to Holtman's success goes much deeper.
You can't beat the TLC.
To find that, just step into the kitchen where every donut is rolled, cut, fried, and dipped by hand, just the way Chuck Holtman taught them.
My dad started, he wanted his kids to learn how to do something, and that was make donuts.
The workbench their dad used continues to churn out about 180 dozen donuts daily.
We make every dough by scratch.
From start to sale, it takes about 45 minutes, and it's a complete family affair. Tony's son mans the rolling pin. Her daughter's fiance handles the fryer.
There's no timer on them.
Everything's done with the head and with sight.
Then her daughter and future daughter-in-law do the dipping.
Every time you reach back in and pull more out, you get a little more glaze on each and every one.
All right, I simply could not resist. Here we go. Oh, still warm. There's nothing like that. That is amazing. In the 60s, the Holtman family operated 13 donut shops around the tri-state. Only this one off Ohio 28 survived.
We kept the little shop going, you know, the little engine that could.
Now, the engine is picking up steam. They opened a second location in Williamsburg in 2009. Tony's son and fiancé are set to open a new shop in Over the Rhine on August 31st.
It's been a dream come true for both of us. This is one of the best things that anybody could ever ask for, to be born into a family that has a tradition and has a secret recipe. It's a wonderful thing to pass on to your kids. They'll always have a place, like I always had a place.
It's that focus on family, that emphasis on tradition, that makes Holtman's Donuts so Cincinnati.
All right, I'm going for another.
Tiffany Wilson, Local 12 News.
Lord knows I've said this enough times. Clean your room. Put the dishes away. Parents, I know you've probably said it more than once, too.
Yes, but now a local company is taking the stress out of getting kids to do their chores. That's an amazing thing right there. This morning, Startup Cincinnati focuses on Chore Monster.
When driving down Central Avenue, don't be alarmed by the 12-foot monster on the wall. That's just Jeff, Chore Monster's mascot. Dare to enter and you'll find an enviable office, complete with indoor bike rack and comfy couches. Paul Armstrong's the Monster Man.
All of the monsters. They're fun.
Chris Bergman's concerned about chores.
I'm very passionate about work being fun. That's something that's really important to me.
2 years ago, they combined the two and applied to Cincinnati startup accelerator, The Brandery, with the goal of gamifying chores.
Miraculously, just on the idea, we got into the 2011 class of The Brandery.
Fast forward through months of hard work, a Cincy Tech investment, and many new monsters, you have this, a two-part app that makes chores easy for parents and fun for kids.
It really, really, really helps families.
Here's how it works. Parents sign up for the service, then type in chores and assign point values for each task. When kids check something off, they rack up points and earn rewards, including monsters.
You're silly.
Chore Monster led us to Maria Harris, who uses the app with her daughters daily.
Being a stay-at-home mom, I get to have some more fun with them instead of just always being the dictator that tells them what to do.
After watching her big sisters, even 3-year-old Reese wants to help out around the house.
She started loading her own dishes into the dishwasher after she eats, and she does it correctly, too.
If you empower kids and give them ownership of their responsibilities, they're going to act on them in a way that they wouldn't otherwise.
Chore Monster just went through a round of funding, raising enough money for new hires and an Android expansion. They're a Cincinnati startup success story.
We love being here.
Now, touching tens of thousands of families across the country.
I wouldn't want to do this anywhere else. We couldn't have done it anywhere else.
On the west side of Vine Street, across from the Mercer Commons construction, you'll find a window display that looks like a bumper sticker explosion. Inside the door, the chaos continues. Whiteboards covered, desks cluttered. The Brandery is central station for startups in Cincinnati. The accelerator condenses 2 years of business building into just 4 months.
And over the course of that 4-month period, we make them move really, really fast.
Teams may enter with an idea on a napkin, and the goal is to leave with a credible business and funding. Since launching in 2010, the Brandery has quickly risen to the top of startup accelerators in the country. Mike Bott sorted through 1,000 applications to find the 4th class of companies.
They're not just trying to do something small, they're trying to change the world with their ideas.
Scott Lieberman, TapFit.
TapFit wants to get rid of gym memberships and change the model to pay as you go. It's one of the 10 companies that made the cut.
We are pretty good from a development standpoint. We have like really good engineers and we can build a product, but the one thing that we always struggled with was marketing.
That's where the Brandery excels. Cincinnati is rich with marketing and brand mavens who support Procter & Gamble's consumer goods. The accelerator matches startups with these local mentors, giving the entrepreneurs an edge.
Conrad Billets, Framery.
Your lens will just snap in, snap out very easily.
Realistically, we wouldn't be where we are and would not have been able to accelerate as quickly as we have if it wasn't for the Brandery.
Conrad Billets is the founder of Framery, a company that allows customers to snap the same lenses into multiple frames.
For the most part, it's been two guys.
With a dream.
Yeah, pretty much. With a crazy dream that everyone says shouldn't work and won't work, but it's working.
About 9 out of 10 startups fail. Getting into the Brandery greatly improves those odds. 8 of the 10 companies from last year's class are still in business.
They're still living the dream, right? They don't have to get a real job yet.
To date, the Brandery startups have raised more than $23 million and created dozens of jobs in Cincinnati.
Is this something you'd recommend to other startups?
100%.
TapFit is going to disrupt the fitness industry by changing the way people purchase fitness.
Now, the accelerator gets support from both public grants and private donations. And coming up tomorrow, we will introduce you to a company that started in the Brandery and is now helping tens of thousands of families across the country.